While Italy is occupied with a savage fight with the coronavirus, characteristic request has come back to Venice as swans and dolphins swimming unreservedly in the now away from of the trenches. With the channels generally clamoring with pontoons, the water is constantly overcast. Be that as it may, not long after Venice executed lockdown quantifies, the water began clearing as drag stays at the base of the channels. And keeping in mind that the City Hall leader's representative has said the more clear water doesn't really mean more excellent water, it stays a sight for sore and frightful eyes during this questionable time.
Around the globe, foundations are shutting with an end goal to slow the spread of the novel coronavirus. These incorporate zoos, libraries, galleries, aquariums and so forth. Shedd Aquarium in Chicago is likewise shut to people in general, yet the staff are resolved to keep the creatures engaged. This prompted an unconstrained penguin field trip through the museum. The penguins met a portion of different creatures in the aquarium. Wellington the penguin couldn't get enough of the fish while Monty made a beeline for the dolphins. The aquarium is anticipating keeping individuals refreshed on creature experiences by means of web-based social networking for whatever length of time that the structure stays shut.
As Italy formally arrived at the most noteworthy loss of life from coronavirus, those under lockdown would not have their spirits broken. In scenes suggestive of a wartime melodic, Italians have met up to move and elevate each other by singing so anyone might hear and playing instruments from their galleries. The thought overflowed to Spain, where individuals have likewise taken to singing and applauding together while self-confining or isolated in their homes. There was likewise an approach online life stages for everybody to remain on their galleries and at their open windows and give an overwhelming applause to exhausted clinical faculty. The call was noticed with zeal and the sound of applauding could be heard miles.
In South Africa, the news that the COVID-19 pandemic had reached the country's shores sent hundreds of people into a state of panic. Bulk buying and chaos ensued. Multiple statements and pleas from the government seems to have calmed the situation slightly, but the tension still can be felt in the air. Pick n Pay, a South African supermarket chain, decided to intervene and try to calm the panic. They have introduced the system whereby they open 1 hour earlier each Wednesday for pensioners and people over 65 to do their shopping in peace and limit the time they spend in crowded spaces. As older people are more susceptible to complications of the coronavirus, this plan has been lauded as forward-thinking in a time of extreme stress. People around the world are wondering how they are going to pass the time while in quarantine or self-isolation. Chris Martin live-streamed a mini-concert from his home on 16th of March, which was extremely well received by fans, and many other stars have since joined in the effort to keep people entertained while they get used to this strange new reality. These stars include John Legend, Indigo Girls, Death Cab for Cutie, Pink, Shawn Mendes, Camila Cabello and Katharine McPhee.
In just 1 month, the cloud of toxic pollution hanging over major Chinese cities has nearly dissipated in the wake of quarantines and self-isolation. NASA air quality researcher, Fu Yu, has said that this was the first time he had seen such a dramatic reduction of polluted air over such a large area due to one specific event. Satellite footage shows a dramatic reduction in air pollution over China and Italy between December 2019 and March 2020 amid the coronavirus outbreak. CO2 emissions were down by at least 25% between 3 February and 1 March as China's coal usage is plummeting. While it is likely that the pollution levels will increase again once the pandemic is contained, it is great to see blue skies again where the smog was potent enough to kill.
At the point when social removing was presented in March 2020 as one of the endeavors to contain the coronavirus, individuals began searching for approaches to engage themselves yet additionally others and shield them from getting sad. Sports supporter, Lane Grindle, recommended on Twitter that individuals could set up their Christmas lights again so as to make a protected movement for families, the most loved sit back of driving around to take a gander at the wonderful lights. This thought immediately got on and numerous individuals participate, betraying, and spreading cheer around their neighborhoods. The Hallmark Channel likewise got on board with the happy temporary fad and declared they would air an occasion film a long-distance race titled We Need a Little Christmas somewhere in the range of 20 and March 22, 2020.
Becky was from Cornwall brainstormed a fabulous plan to help other people who need help during their self-seclusion period. She thought of a postcard layout that could be shared via web-based networking media. The postcard essentially says hi. On the off chance that you are self-separating, I can help, with space beneath for individuals to round out their contact numbers and requests. Other individuals are putting gigantic pennants outside their homes that state they bolster their neighbors and are eager to help with undertakings they need help with. On 18th of March, Jennifer Haller, one of 45 volunteers, turned into the primary individual on the planet to be infused with a potential antibody against the coronavirus. She says of the experience that she felt cheerful and eager to have the option to plan something for help, taking into account how powerless individuals are feeling at the moment. Volunteers are each given 2 infusions 28 days separated to test the security of the antibody. The race is well and really on to discover an antibody that works, and 35 organizations are associated with testing and trialing potential immunizations.
On Wednesday, 18th of March, the Christ the Redeemer sculpture in Brazil was lit up in solidarity with nations battling the coronavirus pandemic. Influenced nations banners fluttered over the gigantic structure and messages of expectation were shown. Beneath the sculpture, the holy sacrifice of the Mass was held to appeal to God for everybody tainted by the infection, while supplicate together was anticipated on it in various dialects.